everyone. Welcome to Lex Talk World Talk Show presented by Clickway Creators. Today we have a very young lawyer, Mr. Shahid Jina, with us. He is dynamic advocate, a visionary, an innovator, and a go-getter. He holds a double degree in business administration and law, and diploma in international business law and corporate law in India. Shahid interned with various reputable firms and did extensive work related to civil litigation and search and title reports, a legal document which deems a property marketable. The founder of his own startup that serves financial institution, Shahid is set to revolutionize the legal scene. Hello, Mr. Shahid. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. So, Shahid, before we get into the our interview process, can you please brief us more about your legal profession?
So, you see, I was born in a business family where my father was mainly into import of furniture, warehousing, and real estate. Knowing that somewhere down the line I have to do business in my life, I opted for commerce. Now, my father, he was the one who suggested me that during my 12th standard that I shall do a BBA LLB course, which is offered by this colleges that is around where I stay. And in that, that will help me for business also, and it will give me a legal idea also. So listening to him, I joined this 5 year course wherein I started college and I started exploring law as a career. While exploring in college, we have internships compulsory, which we have to do. So I started exploring different sectors of law. That was litigation in civil and criminal. I started exploring arbitration. I started doing real estate and various other parts I started doing. But in all of these, real estate was one of the part which I really liked a lot. So I did more internships and I started doing more work in it. While doing this work, I realized that search and title report is a part in this which needs little, which is a process which needs little bit automation and little bit easier, uh, like a process which can make it easier. People do it, but if it is broken down, then it can be easily understood and easily done, which will give faster results in the same quality time. So I started doing research on this and completing my law school. While completing my law school, I found out about these research. I made the whole business plan. I did all of that, but I still needed some more parts where I needed to find the market and where actually the search and title report will be needed the most. So I did 1 year of litigation with another senior where I did criminal and civil. And with that, I found out more about my business plan. And once I was sure that there is a market and it will work around, I showed the plan to my father and then I switched from litigation to my own startup. And that is where I am.
Wonderful. I think with your father's advice, you have like get into this legal business.
Right. That's right.
Right. So now my next question is so because uh, it's more like a advice coming from your father. So tell us about the best advice you received.
So the best advice I received was once I started this company. Now, for the financial institutions where I have to get work, they need to take me on board for themselves. And before COVID, I had spoken to many financial institutions who wanted us to get on their board because they had a lot of work which they wanted to process on a faster rate. But due to COVID coming in, their work got reduced and they did not take us on their team. So there was a time in between where I was little demotivated as to why I'm not getting the business. And here again, my father, he came up to me and he advised to me. He's like, Shahid, what you've seen is the worst. Nothing bad can happen. So give it another try. What will happen? It will be where you are. You will not go more down from this. And that is where I actually learned something and I started back and I bought in more business.
I think your father is the biggest pillar and biggest support for you.
Yes, he
Right.
is.
Wonderful. So how do you look at real estate transactions in 2021 and how it's going to change 5 years down the line?
So real estate transactions in 2021 are likely to witness a record high because of the continuing trend on the account of recovery of COVID-19. But I will still bring it down into two different parts of real estate, that is the residential real estate and the commercial real estate. Now, the residential real estate is increasing because people are working from home. They are buying small houses, different houses for themselves, And more than the city part, you see the suburban parts have started increasing. And in the next 5 years, residential, I see a boom in it. There is already a budget also that has come in by the government that gives the Aam Aadmi Makan scheme, where it is the dream of the government to provide housing for all. And if you see now also the current indexes, the residential real estate is having the highest records than any other in terms of sales. So that was residential. If you see commercial real estate, that comes into office spaces and warehousing. Office spaces, people have started taking smaller offices. Big offices have gone down, but they will increase due to, if you see, outside companies coming in. But a small personalized person is going into a small office where he and a 3-4 persons team can sit and it can happen. While if you see warehousing, that has taken a very good boom and it will increase. So if in overall, if you try to understand from me, I would say that real estate is going to increase fast because it didn't have the, you can say, it was suffering since past few years, which now it will increase, and in the 5 years there will be some light in it.
All right. So that's a great insight for us also. So, how can technology be brought in legal compliance by financial institutions?
Okay. So in nowadays, you see technology is playing a vital role. It is there for communication, for sharing, for each and everything. Technology has become the most important part. Now in legal system, if you see, technology can come in till one part, but not all parts. And it's like there are there are different parts to it also. So I'll explain it to you again in two stages. One is the pre-execution stage, where it's where you draft your documents, you do filing, you do segregation, you do many things at that part. And one is a post dispute part. So the post dispute part is when you have a case actually and you're going towards the court. So in your pre execution, while drafting, problem happens is there is one file. It's a physical file. One person is working. He's finding documents. He's searching. Takes a lot of time. Wherein if you bring a online database type of the file scanned completed, that person doesn't need to keep finding papers. He has to only segregate it by names, by other indexes, and he will have them there. So it will reduce his time. Plus, if you see with on that same file, 4 or 5 different people can keep working on it. So it's like if one file, there are 4 people who have to work, all 4 are working together and they are saving time. Otherwise, one person will take, then he'll give it to the other, then to the third, then to the fourth. So it takes a lot of time. Plus, if you're making drafts also on this, there are technological apps that have come in already where you can make teams, make a draft, put all of them, and then put your edits, put your changes, and those changes can help. So these are the pre parts which can help very easily. There is also a part where you can see that there these reports which I was talking about, search and title reports. These reports can be bought in through our hyperlink part, where if you are not understanding as to how the flow of ownership has come, there will be a document presenting up, which will show you that this document says that the ownership has transferred from this person to the other person, and this is how it has legally gone. So these parts are at the pre-stages parts, and post-dispute parts are where it's in the court. So court has already bought in, you can say, e-filing, and it has already bought in many parts, but it takes time for court. Once court gets in, then other technologies can around servers through that it can make.
Yes, because technology has evolved because of not only because of the COVID, but yes, now each and every law firm is now involving themselves with the new technology. So a lot of companies are using latest softwares,
Right.
and so that's really nice to learn about this. So my next question is from your expertise, like how can having a specialized service provider for legal compliance be helpful for financial institutions?
So in financial institutions, as I already spoke about you, that there is a pre-execution part and a post-dispute part. In financial institutions, if you see at a post-dispute part, there are all big law firms who are ready to handle your litigation, to bring your companies, to do all each and every part, to bring the settlement and do everything. But if you see at a pre-execution part, there is no big firm or a specialized unit that can actually bring in work out there. there are normal advocates who are practicing in court also, and they are doing works for banks also, or for financial institutions, you can say. So their work, it is like they are taking a lot of time. So if a specialized unit comes in there, that will decrease the time, plus it will be one point single place. All your files go to there, all your files are automated, all your files are online, everything is in that one place, which can easily keep everything there. And it makes your work easy, it makes everything easy. Because when you're in a financial institution, the financial institution guy will not know as to how many more days the legal person is going to take, or where, at what stage the file is, or how is it going to happen. But at this single point system, at this firm, he will get the whole organization easily available on his screen at any given point of time. So it becomes easier for him to know when it's going to come out, how can he process the other parts of his financial institution, so that his work can get. And in all of this, the advantage is that the financial institution is building name more than anybody else, because they are not ready to lose business. And the specialized firms also sometimes just give a report saying whether that, it is not clear and it's not marketable, but there is no one who gives solution. So if there is solutions available, then there are suggestions that can be given and helpful for the financial institutions, so that they don't lose business.
Wonderful. So thank you so much for sharing such great knowledge with us, Shahid. I really enjoyed the whole conversation with you.
Thank you.
And we look forward to having a chat with you again in the future on some other trending topics in the international legal business.
Yes, I would love to do that.
Thank you so much. And
Thank
for
you.
our viewers, if you like this chat with Mr. Shahid, please like and share this video, and also subscribe to Clickway Creators YouTube channel to appreciate what we do. And you have more coming from our industry leaders. This is Abhishek for Let's Talk World.